Greetings, my friends. It's your friendly neighborhood PhD, Dr. Judd Burton, coming to you with another Beyond Report on this Tuesday evening, April the 6th, 2021. As always, if you like the content, please click like, subscribe, and share. And a but I can't speak today. I'm going to be talking about language in a minute, and I can't speak. Happy belated Easter, Resurrection Sunday. Hope everybody had a good one. I'm fresh off of the conference slash vacation slash Fringe Pop 321 trail. I thought I'd start off by giving a report of the conference that I attended and spoke at, the North Texas Alpha and Omega conference. This was the first um, conference, as I understand it. They're going to be doing more of these. It was a prophecy themed conference at Granbury Baptist in Granbury, Texas, and I mean to tell you, it was a real blessing um, uh, to not only be there to speak, but also to interact with people and to hear the other speakers. It was fantastic, and a big kudos to the church community at Granbury Baptist. You guys are fantastic. I mean, you treated us like rock stars. It was such a blessing. Um, I spoke on Göbekli Tepe and the Watchers, and I did an exposition of the recent paper that I did on Rephaim and King words, King titles. Um, and my co-author for the forthcoming book on Göbekli Tepe and the Bible entitled "The Guardians of Göbekli Tepe." Dr. Aaron Judkins gave a presentation on a number of things as well, his work at Qumran, and also the Bereshit prophecy. So some very interesting things going on. Lots of great people. Big thanks to Kathy Biggers and the crowd. You guys just did a fantastic job, and I'm still feeling so blessed because of all the efforts that you guys went through, and I really do appreciate it. Um, the next couple of days, I spent with a good friend of mine, uh, Dr. Luke Lafitte, who's not only my good friend, but he's also my attorney, and his lovely wife, Amy. And we just had a fantastic visit, and he and I are working on a teleplay for a series on the canonization of the Bible, which we're almost done with. Looking to get that into production somewhere, and I keep you guys posted on that. But again, a couple more days of being inordinately blessed by people close to me that I love. They're some of my favorite people in the world, the Lafittes. So, hello, Luke and Amy. And then Wednesday through Friday was Fringe Prop 321 with the esteemed Dr. Mike Heiser and my co-author, Dr. Aaron Judkins, joining me. Uh, we had, as we always do, have a great time on the set and off the set. I guess you could say we should do gag reels at some point in time, but we always have a really good time. Uh, uh, Thinking rationally and critically about some very strange topics. And for those of you who have followed the episodes that Mike and I have done in the past, we've talked about all kinds of strange things like vampires and werewolves and witchcraft and satyrs and Azazel. And we even did an interview about his book on the series Stranger Things. And to date, I believe we've done 15 episodes today to date, including the ones that we just got through filming. So we did 6 episodes on Göbekli Tepe and the Bible, all centered around this book that Aaron and I are about to put out. So it was a very busy week, but it was a very good, anointed, and blessed week, and I really feel like we did some really good kingdom work, and I hope that when those French Pop episodes drop here in a couple of months after Brian and Jonah and Greg and all you wonderful people doing all the production on this do your work. put your more than ample skills to task. Hopefully, in a couple of months, that'll coincide, hopefully, with the summer release of our book, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. So we'll be looking forward to those Fringe Pop 321 episodes. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the Fringe Pop 321 channel on YouTube, you should do that. And they also have a channel on Vimeo as well, where they're putting content. So yeah, Mike and I and Aaron had a really good time. Anytime Mike and I get together and do these, there seems to be a lot of good response. And I expect the same sort of thing with the episodes we did with Aaron. It was a really good time. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, sort of shifting gears from that, was a couple of examples of apostasy these days. Just flat out heretical teaching and preaching from certain preachers of the, I suppose you would say the progressive or the woke variety. And I heard about one pastor the other day talking about how Resurrection Sunday is more transcendent than the resurrection. That there's something that goes above and beyond the resurrection of Jesus Christ. No, there's nothing. The transcendence of Resurrection Sunday is that Jesus was no longer in the tomb. He didn't stay in the grave. He broke this cycle of these false stories about dying and resurrecting gods, and actually did it in real space and time. That God became flesh and did all this. Jesus resurrected. That's the transcendence of Resurrection Sunday. This guy is basically claiming that by helping each other, our salvation can be found in this. No, that is not true, sir. That is not true. Now, we are called to be ministers to one another, to help one another, yes, but our salvation does not rest in that. Those things are epiphenomenal of a salvation in Jesus Christ. My next point I'm going to hit a little bit harder, and this comes from a TikTok preacher. His platform is TikTok, and this was a good one. Progressive pastor Brandon Robertson, in a homily about Mark chapter 7. Now, this is the chapter where Jesus, amongst other things, but chapter 7, verse 24 through 30, Jesus is talking to the Syrophoenician woman. And the exchange goes something like, she wants Jesus to heal her afflicted, spirit-possessed daughter. And Jesus makes a comment that this guy characterizes as racist. He says that Jesus says something like, we don't give the good stuff to the dogs first. And on the surface, just that superficial reading, you would think, wow, maybe the guy's got a point. The Jews look down on these Canaanite peoples, these Greek Syrophoenician peoples. Unless you might think that, probably not, if you're if you've subscribed to biblical orthodoxy. But a cursory reading of that, you might think that, until you looked at the actual Greek word, the context here again that Jesus uses for dog. Now, usually the word for dog, for the scavenging, hated, despised animal in the ancient Middle East, the word used most often is kon. But that's not the form of that word that Jesus uses here. The form that he uses is kainarios. the the structuring of the sentence, the variation of that word, its casing. Um, he's talking about a puppy. This is a diminutive. This is Fido. This is like a family dog. And Jesus probably said this with a grin on his face. He didn't mean it as a racial slur. And the woman says, that even the little puppies get the scraps that the children drop. And of course, Jesus, he does heal her. But this guy's trying to push his politics into something, into what amounts to bad exegesis. This is very well. It's just an example of somebody trying to inject their modern politics, their presentist politics, into something that it was never meant to support. Okay, so basically, this guy is doing advertising for me for why it's important to know context, and in this case, to know the Greek context, the actual phraseology, and the choice of words that are being used here. Because Jesus is not using the word that means the derided, hated dog. He's using the pet, family, little puppy idiom here. And you lose all this, and because most translations don't, they just translate it as dog. Um, there are a couple that translate it as little dog, but even there, you sort of lose the nuance. And so Jesus he's not using a racial slur here. Well, this guy says that this Robertson fellow says that she pushed the issue so hard that Jesus repented from the sin of racism. Like I said, this guy is basically making a case for why it's important to study context and language. And you could do that very thing by studying with me through the Institute of Biblical Anthropology. And um, I've got some really cool sales this week. This is the first week of the new session. Um, you can get any one of the 3 certification programs, the 12 course certification programs, Biblical Anthropology, very appropriate in the aforementioned example. Um, Preternatural Morphology, the folkloric occurrence of demons, and Biblical Demonology. Each one of those is $175. If you want to study Greek, you can um, shore up those skills and not make exegetical mistakes like this fellow on TikTok did. Um, the new Greek program, Rudiments of New Testament Greek, is $250 this week. And the big package is for $300, you can pick the Greek class, you can pick one of the certifications, and you get an ebook library with it. That's like $650 worth of stuff for $300. So lots of good stuff. My books are 15% off this week. I'll put links in the description to all that stuff. So if you want to take advantage of it, that's great. All right, that's all for right now. We've all still got kingdom work to do. So let's do it. Let's not be so heavenly minded that we're no earthly good, but let's not let the reverse be true either. So Godspeed, and I'll talk to you guys later.